my sacred ones, and welcome to episode 5 of Sacred Sutra with Savina Leo. Now, today's episode is probably going to be one of my favorite episodes because we get to talk about sex. And if you look at astrology, you can actually see sex from 3 different houses. You have the 5th house, the 7th house, and the 8th house. And I have planets in all those houses. So for me, sex is an important part of life and an important part of who I am. And today I wanted to talk about some aspects of sex. So astrological wise, if I wanted to break down the houses with sex, the 5th house would feel more like casual, like dating, fun sex. The 7th house is more of a commitment sex because it is the house of marriage and commitments and contracts. So it's more of a committed sexual act. And the 8th house, which happens to be my favorite house, is more of an occult sex, tantric sex. We dive deeper into sacred sexuality from the 8th house. I happen to have Ketu in the 8th house. Now, Ketu is the planet of past lives and evolutionary astrology. And it just means that I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of past life experience when it comes to 8th house things, which is the occult, which is tantra, which is transformation, which is it's a very spiritual house, but almost a tangible spirituality. Now, sex is one of the most powerful and sacred acts that we could do as human beings. And why is this? It's basically because we literally create life from the act of sex. It is the meeting of the divine feminine and the divine masculine to create another divine being. So it is the ultimate expression of the divine within us. Now, there's a difference between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. When you're in the more divine feminine energy, you are naturally a generator. So you can generate energy continuously. You are able to hold life within you. And because of that, you are the embodiment of energy itself. You can hold space for energy. When it comes to divine masculinity, males are more like the fuel for the generator. It's seen as something more limited than the divine feminine. And because it's a limited source, it's very important for men to conserve that energy within them. It's why you see a lot of spiritual men going down the road of celibacy because they understand that their semen is a limited fuel and they rather keep that energy within themselves than give it out to other people. It's also why women can naturally have multiple orgasms and men can only have very limited amount of orgasms. It's because women are generating that energy within them and can hold a lot of space for sexual energy. We were literally made to hold creative life force. Now, for all the males that are listening, if you do work on your sacred sexual self, you will be able to have orgasms without actually releasing any semen, and you will be able to have multiple orgasms. But that is not what this episode is about. This episode is actually about being a sexual psychic and what that means. For men and women who practice Tantra, you develop these psychic abilities, and not only mental psychic abilities, but sexual psychic abilities. And you know you're a sexual psychic when you see certain signs in your life and have certain experiences when it comes to sex. So here are some signs that you are a sexual psychic. First, you can manifest easily using sex. So during sex and to the point of orgasm, you think about a goal or a vision that you have for your life, and then you orgasm with holding that vision in mind. And when you do that, you're able to manifest very easily through sex. Next is a personal favorite because I love doing this to others. When you are masturbating and you're thinking about someone else sexually, you can send that orgasm towards them, and they in turn feel that energy. And how you know is that sometimes people would message you and they would be like, holy shit, I just feel so turned on by you all of a sudden, and it's because you just send them a shit ton of sexual energy their way. And then the reverse could happen. They're thinking about you while they are masturbating, and then all of a sudden you have a sexual thought about them, or you can feel them masturbating about you inside your sacral chakra, because that is the sexual chakra. So you're going about your day and all of a sudden you feel your sacral chakra tingling, and you have a thought about an individual, and you know that they are masturbating about you. Another way to know that you are a sexual psychic is if after you have sex or after you masturbate, you get universal spiritual downloads afterwards. That means your orgasm is opening you up to the universe and to universal energy, and you become more sensitive to all the universal downloads that are happening. So you're almost using your orgasm as a channel for the universe. Now, this next one is a more advanced sexual psychic symptom. You are able to heal and transform others, like other sexual partners, through your genitals. I have said this to other people. It is a truth. I can heal and transform another's life with my sexual energy because my sexual energy has been worked on for past lives and this life. You are able to heal others through your vagina or penis, anyone. Now, how this works. Because sex is such a sacred spiritual act that involves all four selves, so your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual self, when somebody is very sexually aligned and in tuned, you start to clear out any blocked or stuck or junk energy in another person that you're having sex with. So my energy almost becomes a mirror to your energy of where you are not moving in your life energetically and things that need to be cleared up in the other person's life. Being a sexual psychic means that you've spent time perfecting the art of sexuality and you understand how healing and transformative and connective sex can be. And others may see this as you being a sexual magnet and they can't get enough of your energy. And it's something that you also understand that you need to protect because it can be so helpful to others. And because it's so helpful to others, it may become a drain or heavy in your life. If you're listening to this and you think, oh my God, I think I'm a sexual psychic, just get more in tune with your body and your sacral chakra and be careful with who you give your energy to because you understand how deep and connected that exchange between two people are. So if you're having sex with multiple partners, it becomes very muddy and difficult to discern sexual energy with different people. But on the flip side, have so much fun with this. If you have the right partner to play with, you know your orgasms can get really intense and really awesome. And it's a really fun energy to play with. Now, for those of you who want to develop your sexual psychic abilities, the first thing I would tell you to do is, like any psychic abilities, you want to listen to your intuition. But this time, you're not tapping into a third eye intuition, you're tapping into sacral intuition. Do I feel my sacral chakra? Do I feel somebody thinking about me sexually? When I think about somebody sexually and I send them that energy, do I get a physical response or confirmation of that energy exchange? You want to listen to your own sexual intuition, and the more you listen to your sexual intuition, the stronger it becomes. The next thing that you can do would be deep breathing. Now, if you're doing this by yourself while you are masturbating, you also want to be breathing very deeply, very connected to your breath while you are masturbating. And if you're doing this with a partner, you want to breathe at the same time or sync your breathing with the other individual. And both of you can do this at the same time. You can also add eye gazing into the breathing with your partner. So you're almost going to envision them breathing into you, the energy circulating within your body, coming out of your genitals back into their body, and it being the sync of energy between both of you while you are having sex. Getting comfortable with talking about sex with partners, with other people, those things open you up to having better sexual experiences. So let's say you do want to have a tantric sexual experience with your partner. The conversations before and after sex is very, very important to you building upon your sexual psychic abilities. Like, hey, I was masturbating about you today. Did you feel that energy? Are you feeling me? Having conversations around sex will almost always improve your sex life. Also, knowing yourself sexually, your likes, your dislikes, it's super important. Depending on a partner to figure you out as a person will never leave you sexually satisfied. You have to know, I like these certain things. These are the things that get me off, and communicating that to a partner will be essential to your sexual satisfaction. So knowing who you are sexually is vital to being a sexual psych. There are so many sexual topics that I could talk about. Like I said, it's one of my favorite topics. I think sex is so important to who we are and our expression as individuals. So we're going to have more discussions about sex, and I will talk to you guys soon.